Hey folks, welcome to Guitar Daily. It's Nick Granville here on a cold Wellington winter day. So 7 days, 7 modes, the series I've been doing about the modes of the major scale. I realised I missed one. It was a bit silly, wasn't it? The way I always remembered the order of them was, if Dora plays like me, all is lost. Is obviously Ionian, Dora, Dorian. So if Dora plays like, after Lydian should have been me, Mixolydian, right? But I skipped that one and went straight to Aeolian, so jumping back, I will cover Mixolydian today. And then we'll move on to Ionian tomorrow. So Mixolydian, what is it? Well, major scale, but we flatten the 7th. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's as simple as that, right? Now, it's derivative of C major, but I prefer to just think of it as its own scale. So shape 1, right, shape 2, shape 3, shape 4, shape 5. And then we're back to the octave of it, right? And this is really the sound of a dominant 7 chord. So if we have a G7 chord, we have 1, 5, flat 7, and 3. If we put them in order, 1, 3, 5, flat 7. 1, 3, 5, flat 7. All of those notes are contained in the Mixolydian scale. So all of those notes contained in the Mixolydian scale, which make it super useful on anything kind of bluesy when you don't want to play blues scale, right? Because we know blues scale will work over that. Well, let's move to E. Alright, but if I play Mixolydian, I only move to E because I can play the open E string, so you can hear it against that. Right? You can hear Mixolydian it's still bluesy, but it spells the chord better, and it has more of it's a prettier sound to the blues, right? It's not necessarily like I think of pentatonic and blues scale as being like a little bit gritty and funky, right? It's this sort of thing. Whereas Mixolydian is more this sort of thing. Right? Both super useful, just different flavors. And there I'm just putting in just a little chromatic passing, but it's still the same thing, right? So how do you work on it, right? Well, one thing you can do is take a blues chord progression and play on the 1 chord, play G Mixolydian. And then when you go to the C chord, the 4 chord, move up to C Mixolydian. Back to G. Then when you get to the D chord, D Mixolydian. To C Mixolydian. Now it's not the most musical way of doing it to jump up like that, but at least it gets you started, right? It's a really good way to start. Better thing to do would be to learn to play these all in one position. So G Mixolydian to C Mixolydian. Right? And that's a better way of doing it, because then you can sort of see them on top of each other. But that's the next step, right? That progression I had before was G7, or in this case G13, however you want to colour it, and then it went to C13, to B flat, E flat, A flat, G. So with all those chord changes, you can't just play G Mixolydian over the top. You have to actually play the chord changes. And the next bit after that went B flat 13, A 13 to this. So it was. We're on the 1 chord, we're going to go up to the chord. Right, so those are kind of like passing chords. Then we go up to the B flat. And that was the top, right? And I just looped it in my looper, so I don't have a backing track or anything, but make your own with a looper pedal or some kind of DAW or even just your phone, and then practice playing over it. So you see there, you have to actually play each chord change. So in that instance, I was playing the Mixolydian for each scale. Of course, there's a chord progression that comes out of this, which is your diatonic chords. So we'd have G7. It's all the ones basically that fit with C major. So A minor, B minor 7 flat 5, C major, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7 back to G7. Same as you would have for C major, but now our perspective is this is chord 1. So learn those up. You don't necessarily have to adjust them too much to fit. I've talked with other modes about, you know, Aeolian, for example. That could be Aeolian, or it could be Phrygian, or it could be whatever. If I want to be Phrygian, probably going to play something like that. In this case, with the Mixolydian, it's not so essential to adjust to kind of find the scale. It just sounds like the blues, pretty blues anyway. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. If you have, please subscribe. As I said, my name's Nick Granville. I'm a Wellington, New Zealand based guitar player. If you could like this video, that really helps me as well with this stuff. It helps push these videos out to more people so that we can build this community around this, which is what I'm doing. I do these videos every day, so if you found it useful, let me know in the comments as well, because that's good to know that support from you. If you tell me it's useful, then it encourages me to keep doing this. So yeah, thanks very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.